Have you ever felt like a ghost in your own family? A resource to be drained and then discarded? Before you witness this quiet, underestimated woman unleash a storm of perfectly documented, ice-cold revenge, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. The Parker family is about to learn that the quietest person in the room is always the most dangerous. The text message arrived like a guillotine, severing me from the life I knew. I was in my office, lost in the quiet hum of architectural blueprints, when my phone buzzed. It was from my mother, Genevieve. "Don't call or come over anymore. You are no longer part of this family. We're done." My coffee cup slipped, a brown stain spreading across a project that had consumed me for weeks. "A minor family thing," I told my client, my voice a stranger's. A family thing. As if being excommunicated via text message on a Tuesday afternoon was minor. This morning, after pulling an all-nighter, I had transferred $2,500 to my mother's account for an emergency AC repair. The third emergency this month. My bank account was now a barren wasteland. I drove past their house, a 5-bedroom monument to a life I had single-handedly funded. The driveway was full. A party. Laughter and music spilled out from the glowing windows. A celebration for my banishment. My sister Serafina's Instagram confirmed it. A selfie with our mother and relatives, her smile a triumphant slash. The caption? "So blessed to be with my real family. Cutting out toxicity." Toxicity. The word was a slap. For years, I had been the family fixer. I'd dropped out of graduate school when my father left, sent money for every manufactured crisis, and paid for my sister's influencer lifestyle, all while living in a cramped apartment I could barely afford. I had paid for my own exile. But as I sat in my car, the rain beginning to fall, something inside me didn't break. It hardened. The quiet, accommodating daughter they had always relied on was gone. In her place, a strategist was born. That night, I didn't cry. I created a spreadsheet. Every transfer, every emergency, every loan that was never repaid, I documented it all. $42,000 in just 18 months. Beside it, I cross-referenced Serafina's Instagram feed. The plumbing emergency funds coincided with a spa weekend, the car repair money, and new designer handbag. They hadn't just used me, they had mocked me with every purchase. The real bombshell came from an old dust-covered tablet, my mother's Facebook account, still logged in. In her private messages, a conspiracy unfolded, a plan months in the making to phase me out completely so I would never know about Grandma's will. They had systematically isolated me from my grandmother, Estelle, in her final months, dismissing my calls and telling the nursing home I had moved away. Then, a text from a distant cousin, "R.I.P. Aunt Estelle." She had died last week. The funeral was tomorrow. Family only, my mother had told the rest of the world. They had kept my grandmother's death from me. The grief was a fire, but the fury was a blade. I found the name of my grandmother's lawyer. I called him. "I believe my grandmother's will is a forgery," I said. The next day, I sat in his wood-paneled office. The will he produced, dated 3 months ago, left everything to my mother and Serafina. "And the previous will?" I asked. He hesitated, then produced another file. 4 years ago. The first line stole the breath from my lungs. "To my granddaughter, Sabrina Parker, I leave all property, financial assets, and personal effects." This is the moment the game changes. The quiet architect now has a weapon. The battle for the Estelle Dubois estate is about to become a war. If you are on the edge of your seat, smash that like button and let me know in the comments, what should Sabrina's next move be? While my family was busy posting tearful selfies about protecting Grandma's legacy, I was hunting. I found a nurse who had cared for my grandmother, a woman named Brenda, who was horrified by what she'd witnessed. They only visited when she was signing papers, she whispered, her voice trembling. They wouldn't let me in the room. She sent me the proof, security footage from the hallway outside my grandmother's room. It was grainy, but unmistakable. Serafina's boyfriend, Kalen, bent over a document, carefully tracing a signature. The nursing home director, a man named Stevens, stood beside him, notary stamp in hand. And in the background, my mother and sister watched, sipping champagne. I found my estranged Aunt Beatrice, my mother's sister, who confirmed a 30-year pattern of my mother's financial manipulation. A forensic handwriting expert declared the new will an unquestionable forgery. The evidence was an ironclad legal cage, and I was about to spring the trap. The will reading was a masterclass in performative grief. My mother in a cream-colored suit I had paid for. My sister live-streaming her solemn family moment to her followers. When the lawyer read the forged will, a satisfied silence fell over the room. "May I say something?" I asked, my voice quiet but clear. I stood and presented my case. The handwriting expert, the nurse's sworn statement, and finally, the security footage projected on the wall behind my mother's head for the entire room to see. Gasps filled the room. My sister screamed, "It's fake! She's manipulating you!" Then the door opened and Detective Miller from the Economic Crimes Division stepped in. "Genevieve Parker, Serafina Parker, Kalen Stone, and James Stevens, you're under arrest for fraud, forgery, and conspiracy." As the handcuffs clicked shut, my mother looked at me, her face a canvas of disbelief. "You can't do this," she whispered. "I'm your mother." The lawyer then produced the real will, my grandmother's will, leaving everything to me. The battle was won, but the war had just begun. My mother and sister, out on bail, launched a vicious smear campaign. A GoFundMe page titled "Fighting My Greedy, Abusive Daughter," a tearful TikTok where Serafina promised to face her abuser at the annual family retreat at the lake house, my grandmother's lake house, now mine. My Aunt Beatrice and I set the stage. We rigged the lake house with hidden cameras. When my mother and sister arrived with their entourage of flying monkeys, they walked into a televised reckoning. I didn't argue. I didn't scream. I just played the evidence on a giant projector screen for the entire family to see. The forgery, the intercepted phone calls, and my grandmother's own voice, from a secret recording she had left with Beatrice, explaining why she left everything to me. Sabrina is the only one who comes without wanting something. As Serafina's TikTok live-streamed her followers abandoning her in real time, Detective Miller walked through the door. "Bail violation," he said simply. "And we'll be adding defamation charges." They didn't just lose their freedom. They lost their audience. Their reputations were shattered. Their social circles abandoned them, and their carefully constructed world of lies imploded. I didn't destroy them. I simply held up a mirror and let the world see the monsters they had created. My revenge wasn't loud. It was a perfectly documented, legally executed, and publicly broadcasted truth. The quiet one, the one they had written off, had the final word. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. In this case, it was served with subpoenas and live-streamed consequences. What do you think is the ultimate form of justice? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you believe in the power of quiet strength, subscribe for more stories where the underestimated always win.